Hello everyone, my name is Stanisław Frejlak, I am professional one dan, and here we are looking at the game from the second round of the London Open tournament. It was played by Chun Fang, who took black against Kim Minseong. Kim Minseong came to the tournament from Korea, and Chun Fang actually lives in the Great Britain. It was his first European tournament, and he did very well. So the game starts with this attachment, a bit unusual move. What is most common after white's pincer is to try to press white's down, and if white lets black, then maybe later we can counter pincer, or we can also play elsewhere. But it's a possibility that white pushes through and cuts us, and this leads to very, very complicated variations, like, I don't know, this or this. There are many very complicated joseki variations. And this attachment is a way to somehow tackle these complications. To the attachments, white will answer. White cannot just say that, all right, and I play on the bottom, because this would be too good for black. So white answers and white connects, but then with the help of these additional stones, black can more easily play the pressing move. If now white cuts, it should be very risky for white. But on the other hand, if white plays like this, white can already be happy that black played the exchanges and strengthened white's shape on the outside. So in this case, white would just probably crawl. In the game, black played a bit differently. Black played one step further to not make it so easy for white to crawl and jump out. So after this move, white still tries to go out, but we can see that white is only on the second line, and still later black can try to stop white from going further. It would be another idea to try to split black, but again, these exchanges would be of a great help for black. In this case, black would play here once and then make a good shape. White can live in the corner. It's not completely alive yet. Later black can locally kill it. For now, maybe black just extends, and yeah, later white needs to take care of this group. So this would not be a big success for white. Alright, the corner is saved, but black is very strong. White didn't really split black, so it's better to just play this move. Still black continued in the same way. And I also saw that the AI suggests to first kick and then play this move. Like this, we don't give black the possibility to go into the corner, which happened in the game afterwards. So maybe it was a nice idea to first kick. Black goes up, and now white is already safe on the bottom, so white can answer to black's move. And it might seem that white is building a very nice wall, and black's wall doesn't look so nice. If it continues like this, then black is not getting much. This is not a big box taken from such a wall, and white's wall is very useful. So yeah, so the direction of play looks good for white. However, tactically speaking, it is white who is pushing from behind. So black has the power to choose whether to extend or to hane. And now black thinks that it's already possible to hane. Maybe before black didn't play hane because it's too easy for white to just cut black's shape now, and maybe now black was also afraid what happens after the cut. The shape is quite bad, but already after 3 moves, black decides that it's a good moment to play hane, and surely that stone would help black if a fight starts. In the game, white decides to keep the initial direction of play, but then black's wall is not faced anymore only towards the bottom side, towards the black stone and white's living group, but black is already taking control over the center part of the board. So push once more. White hanes, white tries to fight, and well, black could also fight, but I think double hane would be played by white, and then there are so many weak points, so many cutting points. So at this moment, black decides to just strengthen the shape, and then white could strengthen their shape. So anyway, white manages to make a very big box, but black gets some control over the center. It's a normal position. White wanted to be even more effective, and white pushes up to not let black control the center so nicely. And where is black's next move? Well, white got a big influence, so we need to do something about it. We don't want white to get another move. Black approaches, and now it's a very interesting position for choosing a joseki. Where would you play? There are many options after black's approach, and usually it doesn't matter that much. Like in the beginning of the game, it doesn't matter that much which move we choose, because josekis lead to even position unless there is something nearby. If there is something nearby, then we need to take it into account. So maybe the most common move, just extend to the other side. The other idea, play a pincer. Maybe one more idea, play from above, or kick to secure the corner. So let's look one by one. If white just plays like this, then let's just put on the board the most common joseki. This is not that satisfactory for white, because the influence is, well, maybe its potential is not fully used. White gets a nice box on the left side. Later white could also make it even bigger, but black lived so easily at the top, so maybe this is not big enough in this case. A pincer might be an option, but then what is the easiest way to do after the pincer? Well, always the simplest move to consider is to just go into a 3-3 point. White usually splits black stones, a general go idea to split the opponent's stones, but in this case it would mean that white's potential is really gone on the right side. White gets some new potential on the top, but still that wall on the right side is so ineffective, white probably doesn't want it. So maybe on this board it's better to choose this direction of play and let black stones connect. But then there will still be a possibility to jump in maybe with this move. And even if not, even if white blocks now, let's say, is this box big enough? Black lives so comfortably in the corner, black has a lot of points. So this idea would be like we have an influence, so we try to make a lot of points from it, but this is not always the best way of using the influence. Much more often it's better to do something else. We will see it soon. For now, let's talk about one more move, a move from the top. It looks maybe more interesting than the previous variation, because now white's area is a bit bigger because white manages to secure the corner. But still, it's the case that black gets a very healthy group on the top. So then we move to the last idea, to not let black have any access to the corner and let black still be weak. So white could, for example, kick, well, take the corner, but in fact, black didn't get weak. It didn't work out so well, and still there is an edge in the corner. Let's look at the move from the game. This one. This is a move which is not very often used, but it is specifically suited for the situations where we have a big strength. Because usually the weakness of this move is that black could just treat it as an exchange. It's not too urgent to answer and play from the other side, try to create a group there. But right now creating group on the other side might be difficult because white is so strong everywhere there. So instead, what will black do? Maybe black will just extend on the side, but then white plays one more move. White gets both a big corner and a lot from that box on the left side. So yeah, so this is the move white played in the game, and it looks like a well thought through move, but can you guess the next move of black? There is one factor in this position which we didn't take into account yet, and now it's time to look at it. Actually, white's thickness is not so thick. Black can cut, and black just plays this move directly. So not only these two stones get disconnected from the other stones, but also after the next move of black, the other two stones are in danger. And probably black played that exchange first, and black thinks that this might help in the fight which emerges. So we can take a look at what happens. White plays one Atari and then secures the shape. It's very difficult to tackle this problem for white. Maybe let's not go into detail, but just say one last point about this choice of a joseki. We analyzed a lot of options and then we came up with that move, very good for a situation when we have a thickness, but actually if there is a weakness in our thickness, if there is a very bad agi, like a cutting point or some cutting stones which can run out, then actually it's not getting over concentrated if we play like this. We get a lot of points and the weakness disappears. So we both get points and solve this strategical issue. And alright, black will also be happy that black lives easily on the top. But white is simply not powerful enough to try to attack this stone to destroy its base if there is such a weakness. So in fact, white's choice was a bit questionable and it was better to play this move. So now black cuts, and as I already showed that white played these moves and then block, I think that maybe the simplest idea to think of would be to play Atari from the other side and push, 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 push. And then, I don't know, maybe still try to manage somehow the two stones, maybe still try to attack black and get a lot on the left side. This looks quite crude to just push from behind, but if we take a 6th line territory, it is maybe better. Why did white not choose this one? I believe that white still had this attitude that this should be white's strong moyo, and this is white's area, so white should strongly attack black. And maybe what white expects is that now black will run back to his other friend and just connect, and then white gets another move to get 4th line territory, or alright, not the 6th line territory, but the 4th line territory, and black still has a lot of trouble with managing the life of that group. But actually, this is an underestimation of the weakness of white's shape. Now black didn't turn, black played another move. I think a flexible way of thinking that first we played one move, white answered, and we don't need to continue. Then we play another moves, and maybe we don't need to continue. We still play this one. How could white manage? Can white capture these stones? This move doesn't work. So anyway, if white tries to do something here, then still black will have time to play there. Yet maybe it would be the wisest solution of white to just get rid of this one agi, let black harass the corner a bit. But alright, at least we are not cut. But as I said before, white is still trying to get a very good result here and still trying to attack black severely. So that's why white doesn't want to give black an access to the corner. And now again, black plays away, pushes, and very flexible shape of black, very light shape. And actually now it starts looking dangerous for white, because not only black manages to connect the stones, but also soon white will be completely split on the left side, and then who knows, maybe white will end up living with not too many points. Like not like this, but I don't know. So doesn't look good. White doesn't want to get split, so right now maybe a change of plans, just let's connect our stones. White plays this move, nice Tesuji, double threat against 3 stones of black and this stone, so black didn't get tricked. How does it exactly work? Maybe black can go out, but this dumpling doesn't look so promising for black. So black plays differently. Black doesn't get too attached emotionally to the one stone, but plays another move on the outside. Now white cannot really fight, because now it would be easy for black to connect. So white connects on the left side, 4th line territory, alright, not 6th line, just 4th line. Then after a few moves of black, it becomes apparent that it's actually maybe rather 3rd line territory. And yeah, and black gets this shape on the outside. This is a bad result for white. I wanted to compare with this most crude variation, right? White could have pushed many times. There would be many more points. And still we get center, and maybe black is not so thick on the outside. But here in the game, black is very happy with this development. Now the crucial question is, what is the next move? What to think of these two stones? Should we add a move to them? Should we run with them? They are cutting stones, it seems. But no, not really, because the groups which these stones cut are strong. The group on the bottom of black is very strong. It's a strong wall. And that group of black is also quite strong, and it can easily make an eye with a move like this. So probably we don't need to run with them. Well, they might be a bit useful. They might threaten black a bit, but for now it would be too easy if we let black just add another move. So no, not here. Rather play on the top side, because black got an influence towards the top side. So we need to somehow not let black get too much out of it. Maybe a move like this would be an option, and then trying to pull the hand towards the two stones. But white just chooses a corner approach, also a very usual move. If black plays like this, then it's easy for white to build a group on the top side, and black's influence is reduced. So instead, black plays a pincer, a natural choice if we already have stones on the top, and well, building a box is a nice idea. Even if white manages to play from the top, it's still good for black to just take points and make sure that the group lives. And moreover, white's group is still in trouble. It doesn't have two eyes yet. It's a weak group, and if white runs, it only helps black to make points. On the other hand, if white goes into the corner, it's even easier for black, because then black gets a wall towards another wall. Very big moyo. So it was probably the correct choice to jump out, but as we said, still the group is a bit in trouble. White decided to create a bit more of a base. If black connects, and we also have such a center move. But then black thought maybe no need to answer and let white get a better shape, a better living shape. Like, all right, white can just play in the corner. For now, let's be active. If white continues, well, yeah, then white can make life, but give another move to black would be too much, would be too slow by white. So now white plays a corner approach. And I thought that black will be just satisfied with choosing this direction of play, getting a big right side and letting white develop on the bottom. But black thinks differently. Black looks at this wall and doesn't want to let it go wasted. But on the other hand, it's very difficult to build anything from this wall, because let's say we play like that, and then white still goes in from this stone. So black comes up with a very smart plan, attaches in the corner, white answers, and then another move. So this feels a bit uncomfortable for white if white just answers like this, and black gets all these outside moves, and later maybe even this move is center for killing white, or almost center. So black pushed white down very, very strongly. White decides to fight back and capture the cornerstone. But then actually white's group gets cut, and white still needs to add a move. And then suddenly it all starts making sense for black, because now this influence, there is no leakage from below on the second line, and we can easily do the same thing as we did on the top. We play a pincer. If white jumps out, maybe black could consider even playing from this side, because the area grows so big. I don't know if this was black's plan, but maybe white was a bit afraid, because as we can see, white played this attachment. To this attachment, the most common answer is Hane. But then white gets some strength, I don't know, with this extension or maybe this move, and maybe white can attack the other stone. If white is brave enough, maybe white doesn't have enough power, and white should be satisfied with moves like this. Anyway, black just extends to not give white this one in center, but then white simply jumps out and continues to push. So this was very nicely played by white, because now black's influence is greatly reduced. This is a big move. If black connects, white can just capture the stone. Black is left with not a nice shape. But for now, black thinks that, oh, white didn't add a move to a weak group, so we can attack it a bit more. And then, maybe actually we have co-threats against this group. So instead of answering simply, we can answer in this more powerful way. If white simply captures, then for sure this stone will be in better place than that empty triangle connection at B. But of course white starts the call, and then black uses this move as a threat. White doesn't have much threats, so white plays just peep on the right side. Usually such a peep is very bad, but it is because it gives black a lot of outside influence, And here the outside influence is anyway already reduced by the existence of white stones. So black plays like this to at least fix that weakness. Nice combination. White captures back the ko, and then black just secures the situation of the 4 stones, gets points, and also it is a threat. Also white still needs to run out. Black gets another move. I think that maybe white missed an opportunity, because actually after that move of white, there was a possibility of playing here and threatening black's 4 stones. But it's not that big of a threat, because black can just crawl and easily make life, and then still not give away too big part of the corner. Also, there is another thing that black can cut white, so this is not an easy fight, and especially if black has so many liberties already, or maybe black is already alive. But after white played this threat and black played such an exchange, the situation changes. And maybe this is a good time to strike here or maybe there, I am not sure, because right now the hane doesn't work so well. White can just block it, and well, if this hane is needed for black to win the semi, then actually it's already good news for white. Even though white loses the semi, white gets something in the corner. Probably black would start with this move. Can white play here? Maybe. I don't know, it's a bit complicated. I didn't read it, but maybe there was this possibility. White just captured the ko, and then black secured everything. And this move is very good, multi-purpose. So instead of recapturing the ko, black just plays this one, which blocks the corner, gives a possibility later to connect, and destroys white's base, so white's group is still thin. White feels that black has already too much, so there is a need to invade and not to add another move to the top group, because then black would easily win the game. But then black secures the big corner, I think a very nice move. Then white tries to get this combination, but black doesn't let white, and white uses a cut as a threat, and black ignores it, because this is very valuable. We will see that later in endgame. It also means that black has such a move in center, and also in the future after this move, at the very end of the game, white will need to add a move, because there is a possibility of making a seki. For now, black ignored the threat, which means that white can get something on the right side. But even though it looks like black is disconnected, black can still crawl. And well, then black crawls more. Alright, white got something, but not too much. Maybe it was a good time for white to either choose to block and get all these points, or to start a fight and then try to do something. Because it's a bit like now or never. If white now loses center, black gets all these moves, then later white will certainly not be able to block. And also the fight might work worse for white after black played all these moves, and black has, for example, a possibility of playing all this in center. For now, black finds time to answer to white's move. There is a cutting point in black's shape, but black is somehow not concerned. Yeah, maybe the cut just doesn't work. It doesn't really work. White plays this one, hopes for such a development, but black does something differently. Just connects on the bottom after one exchange. Then white gets an access to the corner. But black lets white build a group here. So maybe black just read that it's not possible to make life. Interesting. It looks like so much space, but actually it might be not possible. Wait, like this it is alive. Maybe crawl. Sorry. Because black is so strong everywhere, it might work for black, but it looks very, very risky. For now, white didn't start to try living, but then if we don't do anything with it, it will be just a bad exchange, and we should have played like this. So I think that white should try something. because in the game white just had a bit not enough points. From now on it's just an endgame. And in the end black found time to add a move. Why does white play these moves? Well, they are good moves for creating a samedori. Later black will need to add stones to capture white if white is in time with playing a move like this and then like that. In the game white was not in time though. Very unfortunate for white. Like this black would die, so it means that black needs to play here, and then you can see that black's area is greatly reduced. But in the game it went a bit differently, because, well, there was a fight for the top territory, and then white went in with an interesting move, but this let black play a crucial move which makes all these black's points. So I don't know if this was the best choice. Like maybe it was the best choice because white goes so far, but maybe it was better to just play here, 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 and then play a simple move. Okay, so this is how the game went, and from now on it's just a late end game. And in the end, Chun Fang, playing black, had a few more points, 5 points or 7 points more. All this game went good for black, in fact. There were maybe moments where white had a bit more chance. I think after this threat, white could start a fight. But in the game, black managed to keep the advantage. All right, that's it about this game.